Create in-house or off-the-shelf? When it comes to training content, what do you choose? Some companies, when deciding how to source or develop learning content, will take into account the following criteria. For instance, the learning need. They consider the extent to which the organization has a specific model or framework already in place or an adapted program to build upon. They also take into account the availability, the newness, and the quality when evaluating off-the-shelf content. Another aspect is the organizational characteristics. They weigh the cost of the off-the-shelf content against the opportunity and the cost of internal design and available resources. They also look at the content level of specialty. So, do we have the internal expertise to design the content ourselves, or is the content specific to the organization? Or do we have a specific model in mind? Another thing to consider is the urgency and timeliness of the need. How quickly does the organization need the training available? What's the projected lifespan of the content, and how quickly will it become dated? Another tip is looking at the size and demographics of the audience, the geographic dispersion, the language profile, the level, the access to technology, and so on. And finally, they carefully consider the compliance and regulatory nature of the content at hand. Now, as a side note, there is a well-known organization that actually creates courses, but very short ones, and they place them in categories. One is learn, the other reflect, and the last one do. So the learn piece might have a policy to read, or a video or two to watch, and a tip sheet that might recap the process. The reflect one is when they ask for a discussion question, or where they ask the participants to reflect on the learning they have just received and apply into a real life scenario. And finally, the do piece is where the associate or the employee puts the new knowledge into action. And finally, some tips. Create a structured process for evaluating content. Have a list of key questions to ask to determine whether an off-the-shelf or a custom solution would be the best. Also, brand off-the-shelf content especially for your company, as this ensures all content matches not just your learning objectives, but also your corporate culture. And finally, ask content vendors how they vet and review content and ensure it is right for your company. Thank you so much for joining today, and see you in the next video.